The 90s Cowboys are one of the most legendary teams of all time. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons in 92, 93, and 95. And this was all done on the back of their powerful and dynamic offense, and we are going to recreate it in Madden 23. We'll dive into the key principles of the offense, set up our offense to attack just like the Cowboys did, then go over the main stars that made this offense so tough to stop, and show you how you can bring the might of the 90s Cowboys to Madden 23. When it comes to formations, the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s predominantly harness the power of I-form formation. The I-form is characterized by a fullback and a running back lined up directly behind the quarterback. This allowed them to feature a physical downhill run game and bully their opponents, and then the play action game off of it to push the ball down the field for big plays. And to replicate this, we'll be using the I-form formations in the West Coast Playbook. Then this is actually all a part of a bigger scheme I'm creating where I break down 5 offenses from the NFL's golden era from the mid-80s to the late 90s, and each of these will be run out of the West Coast Playbook so they can all be used together, and the playlist for the whole scheme will be down in the description. The success of the Dallas Cowboys offense in the 90s was built upon the foundation laid by their offensive line, aptly known as the Great Wall of Dallas. This group of linemen were instrumental in creating a dominant run game and providing ample protection for Troy Aikman in the pass game. They were unsung heroes in the engine room that powered the Cowboys, and they will go down in history as one of the most dominant O-lines we have ever seen. In Madden 23, we equipped our 3 interior offensive linemen with the ability Nasty Street. This empowers them to deliver dominant impact blocks on linebackers and defensive backs. This becomes even more effective on plays like Power, where we have guards pulling from one side of the field to the other. They can meet linebackers and DBs head on, delivering crushing blocks that can spring our back for huge gains, just like the Cowboys line did for Emmitt Smith in the 90s. The first run we are breaking down is HB Power O in I-form tight. Now this is going to be our base run, and the first thing I want to do is count the box, and we want to run to the side with less defenders. And if it is the side that our run is already to, then just snap the ball, and now we have a classic power run with a guard pulling and our fullback out in front. We want to be patient and let the guard make his block, then cut off of him and get into the open field and become dangerous and make a big play. Then if the weak side of the ball gives us the numbers advantage, we want to flick our right stick to that side to flip our run, then motion our solo receiver across the formation, and now we will outnumber them on this side of the ball, and then we can use this run to bust some massive explosive runs, and this is the perfect run to utilize our big powerful O-line and fullback to blow defenders off the ball and spring us for some huge explosive gains, and this run is going to set the table for the rest of our offense. Then behind the Dallas O-line, you had Emmitt Smith toting the rock, and his run with the Cowboys in the 90s was nothing short of extraordinary. Drafted in 1990, Smith quickly emerged as a cornerstone for the Cowboys' offensive powerhouse. Known for his exceptional vision, toughness, and agility, he was the driving force behind the Cowboys' dominant ground game. His performances were instrumental in the Cowboys' 3 Super Bowl victories during the 90s, and he was named the NFL's most valuable player in 1993. Smith not only set numerous franchise records during his time with the Cowboys, but he also became the NFL's all-time leading rusher. For our running back, we want to target similar traits, and I'm using the Emmitt Smith card in this role. The second run we are breaking down is Z-motion counter weak in strong pro. Here we are going to have this auto motion down from our outside receiver, but then we are going to fake to that side, then counter back out the other way, and we'll have our guard and fullback leading the way, and you want to slow play it, let these guys get out in front, and once they engage, then shoot out from behind them into the open field and make some big plays. This is another classic power run with multiple pullers, and with our abilities on the O-line and our fullback, this can really spring you for some huge gains and make this run an excellent counter to work off our bread and butter power run. Then off of the run game, the next vital part of the offense was the play action pass game. This is a big part of how the Cowboys would set up their explosive shots down the field, and once you get your run game going, this is going to open up so many opportunities for us to push the ball deep for big plays. Here we are looking at PA cross wheel in I-form slot, and this is a great play action play to work off our run game and push the ball down the field. Now this is going to be a very explosive play action play designed to really be able to get our weapons open down the field for explosive pickups. The first element of this play is the hard play action fake, and we want to pull down the linebackers with it. Then we will have our fullback sneaking out of the backfield, and he's going to wheel up the field, and the flat defender is going to let him run past him, and the deep blue defender on that side is going to get run off, and you can fire this deep down the field in this hole for a big play. Now for a quick tip on this play, but also is going to be applicable for any play action rollout play, you can actually cancel your rollout at any time by hitting the R2 button. This will let you set up in the pocket and allow your blockers to stay in front of the rushers, and it'll give you more time to let it fly on these deep shots. Then the other option on this play is after the play action, if you see the user leave the middle to try to run with that fullback, then that is where we have this deep cross going out the other way, and the deep blue defender will get pulled back, and you can fire this deep in along the opposite sideline. When Norv Turner took over as the Cowboys offensive coordinator, he brought with him elements of the West Coast system that the Niners of the 80s made famous, but tailoring it to the unique strengths of his personnel. The centerpiece of this offensive adaptation was quarterback Troy Aikman, whose precision, decision-making skills, and quick release made him the ideal fit for this style of play. Aikman excelled at picking defenses apart with short, accurate passes, often exploiting the middle of the field and taking what the defense gave him. This made the Cowboys' passing attack extremely efficient and difficult to defend. When combining the West Coast influence passing game with a dominant run game, really made the Cowboys' offense so tough to stop. At my QB, I'm using the Joe Montana Ultimate Legend card, and he is the perfect mix of pinpoint accuracy to put the ball exactly where he needs it and arm strength to push the ball down the field. Then I am using Hot Route Master on him just to give you more creativity on offense, though it isn't a must, and if you don't have Hot Route Master, you can still run this scheme. Next, we are looking at Z Motion F flat in Strong Pro, and this is our zone beating setup, and here are the reads and adjustments for this play. This play is going to start with a wide receiver motion down, just like our HB counter and another upcoming pass play, so they are going to work off each other very well. And this play excels at working the middle of the field and really putting the user in a tough spot where he can't pick the right player to cover. The first route we are looking at here is the tight end post, and if post snap the user and the hooks are getting pulled down and the deep blue defenders are getting pushed back, then as the tight end breaks over the middle, you can drop it into him for a really nice pickup. Next, we want to look to the fullback vertical route, and if the hooks are getting pulled down, but now the deep blue defenders are sitting on that tight end post as he breaks over the middle, now we have this fullback vert route that will get up the seam in behind the linebackers, and you can drop it into him for a really nice pickup. Then if post snap the user gets under our two deep middle routes and takes them away, then we have two underneath routes with the motion down drag and the running back, and you can just go to whichever one is more open and let them rack catch it and make a play in the open field. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video where I will give you 7 more plays out of this Cowboys triplets offense to allow you to make it a complete scheme with the ability to attack and take advantage of any defensive look that you come up against. Then there will be a ton more coming for the site for this golden era scheme. Then also on the site are all my past schemes like my NCAA spread offense and my LOB Seahawks defense and a ton more. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, the link for it will be down in the description below. Here we're looking at Z Motion F Trail and Strong Pro, and this is our man beating setup, and here are the reads and adjustments for this play. This play is going to start with the same motion down as our counter and our other Z Motion play, but now this play will excel at beating man coverage and give us a ton of great options to go to for nice pickups. First, we can attack the sidelines with our tight end corner route and the out route from the wide receiver. You want to pick a side pre-snap, and if you go to the tight end side, then after he breaks, you will get really good separation and you can fire it in for a big pickup. Then same as the out route. You want to throw it right as he is breaking, and you can drop it along the sideline for a really nice gain. Now for a quick tip on this play, make sure both your outside receivers are using short and elite or route tech, and this is what will help them get easy separation as they break, and it is going to make attacking man coverage so much easier. Then we can also attack the middle of the field, and first we have the motion down drag, and with this auto motion he will be at full speed running away from his man coverage, and it can make it very tough for the man coverage to keep up, and you can drop it down to him and let him make a play in the open field after the catch. Then lastly, we have our fullback on a Texas route, and he will cut in behind the drags and will separate from the linebackers and give us a very good option over the middle to pick up big yards. The vertical dimension of the Dallas Cowboys offense in the 90s can largely be attributed to the Air Coryell system, a scheme known for its aggressive downfield passing attack. Norv Turner, coming from a coaching tree that traced back to Don Coryell, introduced these principles to the Cowboys, adding another layer to their multifaceted offensive attack. The Air Coryell system hinges on stretching the field vertically, challenging defenses deep, and opening up opportunities underneath. This philosophy paired perfectly with the skill set of Michael Irvin. Known as the playmaker, Irvin was renowned for his ability to make contested catches, his precise route running, and his ability to get down the field, attributes that made him a formidable threat in the vertical pass game. Irvin's ability to consistently win one-on-one battles deep down the field resulted in a ton of big plays for the Cowboys, and when combined with the other elements of the 90s Cowboy attack, this Air Coryell vertical pass game was the cherry on top. At our number one receiver, we are using Jerry Rice, and he brings that same big play ability to stretch a field and make plays. Then I'm using route tech on him to make sure he can separate from man coverage, and this is something you definitely should target. Next, we are looking at wide dig and I-form tight, and this is my go-to man beating setup, and here are reads and adjustments for this play. Now, this is going to be my favorite man beater in this Cowboys offense, and with it, you can push the ball deep down the field and pick up a ton of explosive gains. Here, the go-to route will be this unique motioned over post route that we will bring from the wide side to the short side of the field, and once you snap the ball, he will have this outside release that will force the DB to be flat-footed, and he will fire past him up the field versus man and be wide open for huge pickups down the field. This is one of the best ways to beat man coverage you will find in Madden 23, and it can help you gain a ton of big pickups. Then for other routes, here we have our tight end on the corner route, and as he breaks, he will get great separation, and it is going to work really well because it's going to attack the opposite side of the field as our one-play touchdown. Then over the middle, we have our running back on a Texas route, and as he breaks, he will get great separation over the middle of the field and is a really good third option. Next, we are looking at wide trail and strong close, and this is a one-play touchdown to bomb cover 3 and cover 2 for deep, huge pickups. This is one of the best deep shots I have used all year to get in behind both cover 2 and cover 3 shells for explosive gains. Now, first against cover 3, post snap, you will see this deep fade will get down along the sideline, and the deep third defender is going to get held inside by the streak route, and once he clears that area, then you can fire this in deep along the sideline for a huge pickup. Then against cover 2, we're still going to be looking at the fade route, who will get a free release down the field, but now the deep half is going to be held even more inside, and this fade is going to be insanely open down the field, and you can bomb them over the top for walk-in huge touchdowns versus cover 2 shell defenses. Then for checkdowns on this play, we'll have our tight end on the trail route and our fullback on an option route, and you can just go to whichever one is more open underneath if the routes aren't open deep down the field. Now, this offense is going to be amazing, but you can also pair it with another dominant scheme from this era with the 1980s 49ers and their dynamic West Coast offense. It is also run out of the West Coast Playbook, just like this Dallas scheme in this video, so you can combine them to become unstoppable on offense. If you want to check out that Niners scheme, then you need to watch this video right here.